Your Excellency, as I noted in another video, you've been very busy with the academic year, preparing. You have subdeacons on their way to the diaconate and on their way to the priesthood. And on top of that, you have to organize a move. But before a move can be organized, you have to get all the work done at the seminary, and it has continued to grow since our last update from you by video. So I just wanted to take a moment to have you share with the viewers what the progress is and what still needs to be done.
Well, the progress is that my predictions of back 2 years ago, or even better, of expansion, an increase of vocations coming to us, my prediction has come true. And I started to look for buildings in late 2019 because I could see a trend coming. And sure enough, this year, I would say it's likely that we are going to take in 10 new seminarians, which would be an increase of our population of about 30-40%. We've never seen that before. Usually we would take in 2 or 3 every year. So now this is not a throng, but it is a whole new era for us, and I would expect that to continue. I think a great deal of what is driving it is Bergoglio, that the people are seeing that the system of regarding that man as the Roman pontiff is just impossible, that it's ridiculous, that it no longer holds up under Ratzinger because he was wearing the red shoes and the velvet cape and the velvet cap and the white hair and everything, and there was a facade of some sort of conservatism, and maybe he's a real pope. And I compare it to somebody in the desert who is starving and is dying of thirst, to someone who's offering him lemonade and a hamburger. There was such under Ratzinger, there was such a thirst and such a starvation for a real pope that they saw this radical of the 1960s now in the clothing of a Pius XII. Oh, and he's the pontiff now, and now everything, we have hope, and he has permitted the traditional Latin Mass, so things are going to work out. There was an optimism. He permitted it for a modernist reason, and he permitted it in order to preserve and promote modernism, because he saw, intelligent as he is, he saw that if Vatican II does not have continuity with the past, that historically it is going to be destroyed. It will not survive history. And so he knew that, and that's why he permitted the traditional Latin Mass. It's not, he couldn't care less about it. Although he has good taste, he likes Mozart. So, there's a certain amount of taste there too, but he didn't permit it for the reason that it is the one true expression of Catholic doctrine in the Roman Rite. Not at all. He did not permit it because he thought the new Mass was something wrong and evil and just didn't have the guts to suppress it. No, he was very comfortable with the new Mass and Vatican II and everything. So, but that was Benedict. So there was this fantasy going on until 2013, and then Bergoglio came along, and as he progressed and still progresses, people gradually understood that it's just not possible to think of this human being as a pope. So I think that is what is driving the sedevacantist vocations.
To accommodate those vocations, there's no room here. I've been here this week. I've seen that we're at capacity here. So you have to move to a place where there are more rooms, and there are more rooms in Pennsylvania.
We are already housing people off campus now. And we're, by the generosity of 2 parishioners, we're living in their homes, and for free. And so we're in desperate need of more rooms, and that's why we are making this bold move to Pennsylvania, which is over 1,000 miles away, and where we have to give up a lot of the advantages that we have in this building, but which is unfortunately necessary in order to accommodate more seminarians.
So you were just up there last week. What did you see done, and what still needs to be done?
The place is all torn up. Practically every room in the building has work being done in it. You see, we have to expand the electrical outlets. It's built in the 1930s, and you would plug in a lamp in the 1930s. That was it. We do a great deal of video and Zoom. We have courses on Zoom, and so we need a lot of power in the building. We need a lot of internet in the building, and that was a very expensive part of the renovations. A lot of rooms are being divided so that we can get more seminarian rooms out of them, and there's. We had to put in a fire alarm system, $80,000 for a fire alarm system. We had to put in a commercial kitchen, which is $90,000. These things add up, and we had to abate the asbestos for $38,000. We might get hit for $30,000 if they have to put in a new transformer because we're getting more power into the building. These are things that come up that you don't realize. You think, well, we have to do a few things. And various other fees and hidden things you don't count on. We definitely are still collecting money for that. I fear that I will have to go to the bank to borrow money to finish it, which I'm very loath to do. As I said, the only problem with borrowing money is that you have to pay it back, because that will give us a loan payment to make, and our finances are going to change too, because here we are supported by the local parish, which is very generous, and other places that we service, especially Detroit. And that will, of course, Detroit's contributions will continue, and the contributions from this parish will continue, but still we will have a lot more people to feed. Things are more expensive in the Northeast. So the utilities will go up. Everything is going to go up. Vehicles, everything increases. Dishes, chairs, furniture, everything is multiplied. And because now we have about 13 rooms for seminarians, up there we will have about 25. So we have to double the furniture that we have here. So it's growing pains, and everybody says to me, "Oh, that's a good problem to have." And I cringe when they say that, because you don't have to write the checks, and you don't have to worry about where the next donation is coming from. And our people have been very, very generous. We have gotten heroic donations from certain people, and other people I can tell, are giving what they can, and they're very interested in the seminary, and I appreciate that very much. But we're not done yet. So if there's anything left, please send it on, because it's almost practically rebuilding the whole interior of the building. Then we have to have the outside painted. It's a stone building, but there are wood trims, and the estimate on that is $50,000. All right, so we won't do that right away. We have to get the gutters fixed, which won't be too bad. We have to take out a few trees that are threatening the building, because they were there since 1932. And they're too big, and they're getting old, and sometimes they fall over in a wind. And so to take out one of those is an estimate of $10,000. And there's probably about 4 or 5 on the property that need to be taken out. They don't have to be taken out tomorrow, but in the next year or two, they have to be taken out. And so, there's a great deal that is hidden. It's not just we found a house and we're moving in. There's it's practically rebuilding it. But it still was a better, if we had expanded here, I think the price tag would have been $5 million, no problem.
So if our viewers, the people who are watching, want to further the cause of uncompromising Catholic clergy, we're going to need to contribute.
Yes, if you want more priests, you have to help the seminary expand. And there are some very fine young men who are presenting themselves from mostly the United States, but from other countries too. And they will take over. Don't forget, the old guard is going to expire soon. And so there have to be priests coming up who are well trained and who are sharp in their theological acumen, which we insist on, especially for those who are capable of it and others who are more intelligent. And because there's a whole battle to wage against the modernists, and there's a lot of missiles that are thrown our way, and we have to respond to them. And we have to carry on Catholic theology and Catholic doctrine and everything that the Church did in the past, Catholic apologetics. We don't just say Mass. We have a whole mission of defense of the Catholic faith. And that's why this seminary exists. And I strive as best I can to maintain that principle and that quality.
Well, I hope that our listeners will respond to this appeal with generosity, and thank you for sharing this update, Your Excellency.
Thank you.